Okay, so this is going to be the video recording for Plants as Clothing. I'm at home, so you may hear a whine in the background. That is my 3D printer running. You might also hear my dogs eventually singing the songs of their people. Hopefully that's not too distracting. Let me know if that is, and I can do, I re-record these sorts of things. All right, we're going to go through this, and a lot of these you may not know about these different types of fibers. I don't necessarily want you memorizing all the different fibers and the plants that they're coming from, but to be aware of the variety of plants that we use for fiber and the variety of different types of fibers we can make from all of these different plants. All right, we use them for a lot of things. If you click through the link, you'll see several different types of clothing that you can go to, so you can all look at all kinds of different things as far as our fibers, our plant fibers are concerned. The top left picture is bamboo. You can see the bamboo in the background, and you can see the nice soft fibers that it can make. And can make a very rough fiber, more like rope, or make a very coarse fiber, more like cotton. I don't know if you ever purchased bamboo socks, but they are the bomb. Banana fibers. I've never actually used banana fibers, so I have no idea how they work. It is an excellent byproduct from a otherwise very large industry. So hopefully we're doing certain things with them. They look like a very rough fiber. They might be good for rope or other types of jute or twine or things of that nature. You can see we do fibers for a lot of things. People already know about textiles and rugs and brooms and paper and all of those sorts of things. You do have to keep in mind, if you're talking to a botanist, fiber means a very different thing than if you're talking to somebody who's making clothing. So let's kind of look at that. If you look at the upper left picture here, that is actually a post-it note under a microscope, so you can see all the individual paper fibers. But if you look at the other three pictures, those pictures are of different vascular systems, and those are the fibers that a botanist would talk about. So it is a little bit different if you're talking botany versus clothing or textiles. We're going to go through a lot of different things. I don't expect you to memorize all of these things. I certainly don't expect you to know all of the differences or memorize what plant does what fiber. But as you go through, just kind of keep in mind all of the different fibers that we use for plants. We've been using them for a very, very long time for a wide variety of reasons. Roofing, ropes, craft, clothing, shoes, baskets, all kinds of different things that we use different types of plant fibers for. Here we can see that you're using them for burlap and sacks and things like that. They say it's biodegradable. I have that in quotation marks because it really does take a very, very long time for these things to biodegrade. We've dug up trees that after 10 to 12 years, you can still see the bag almost 100% intact. So it does take a very long time for a burlap bag to decompose. Here's a very pretty little ornamental that also is used for fibers. We know it's the earliest known fiber usage. They're very expensive, but they make smooth fibers. They're very straight, very long. It's an excellent fiber source. We've got other fibers. Fire hoses are often made out of fibers, or they were anyways. Fishing hoses, fishing nets, all kinds of things. Mostly those have been replaced by nylon and plastic sorts of things nowadays. Unfortunately, those come with their own Mother Nature types of issues as well. Here you can see a cannabis plant. Cannabis also now being grown for hemp. You can actually see the fibers. If you look close in this picture up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can actually see the individual fibers. And you can see it does make very nice, very large bales of different types of fibers. You can be rough fiber, or they can be soft fibers. It's a very fast-growing plant, so it makes an excellent fiber. Here's one that looks like cannabis, but it's actually a hibiscus plant. And these are what they use for making paper. It's great paper fiber. It does grow faster than pine trees. You can also use it for making ropes and twines and other different types of composites. These are agaves. Agaves make very, very coarse fibers, but they're great for growing in marginal ground. So if you live in an area where the soil is not fantastic, this might be an appropriate fiber choice as well. Here's ones from leaves. These are the leaf bases of a musa, which is actually a type of banana. Musa is the genus name for banana. And this is a special banana used for textiles. It's also the type of textile that you would see in your money. So your money is a fiber, not a true paper. The YouTube video that you see here is a 3 to 5 minute video. I don't remember exactly how long it is, talking about the cotton gin and how that changed the landscape of both the North and the South when that was first invented. So you can click on that and go watch that. But basically, the cotton is a plant that has changed the history of the country. So it's kind of interesting to do that. You can grow cotton in Ohio. I did discover that. One of your classmates asked me about that, and so I went off on a little tangent and learned a little bit about cotton. Here's some coconut fiber, so you can see how rough those are. Great for doormats and brushes and things like that. We're now seeing that in potting mixes as well. And then finally we have the Kapok, which is a tree. I'll show you a picture of it in a second. It's kind of a cool looking little tree. You can see the fibers surrounding the seeds. They're very light, very fluffy. Used to be used as a filling in stuffed toys and mattresses and things like that. Things where you needed a very soft, fluffy sort of fiber. Now again, that's more replaced by nylons and synthetic fibers. But there's a Kapok tree, and you can see that's a very, very large tree. It's got an interesting growth habit, an interesting trunk to it. It is a tropical tree, so it doesn't grow around here. Okay, so that's the end of the fiber one. I know I'm kind of going through these really, really fast. I'm trying to keep them short so that you don't take up too much of your bandwidth. There's the PDF version of it if you would rather do a little bit of reading, and the original should all be on Carmen. As always, if you guys have any questions, get in touch.